Title of today's Murli is A Searchlight is the Means to Prepare the Field of Service. This Murli is dated 10/6/71. Here Baba has given a lot of yukti as to how to carry out service. He has given a lot of swaman, lot of ideas about how to prepare a stage for service. And Baba calls us searchlight. Let's begin it. What three lines on each one's forehead is Baba looking at? Can you see your own lines? Just as three lines are shown in the image of the memorial of the Father, in the same way, what three lines are visible on the foreheads of the saligrams? Have you ever seen your forehead in the mirror? In which mirror have you seen it? On each one's forehead, one line and symbol is that of victory. The symbol of victory is a trident. A trident is a symbol of victory, that is, a symbol of success in your thoughts, words, and deeds. A trident is also shown in the images of the Shaktis. So, there is this trident, which is a symbol of victory on each one's forehead. And the symbol on the line of the trident is a bindi, a dot. The third line is the long line under the trident. That is a symbol of having a clear line and of being careful. Of being careful and also clear. There should not be any obstacles on the path. So, the third symbol is that of you're moving constantly straight on the path. So Baba is seeing all the three lines and symbol on each one's forehead. You all have these lines, but they are clear on some and not as clear on others. So, have you seen your lines? You have the trident, the clear line, and also the bindi on the stage of soul consciousness. Devotees put a symbol of the tilak on their foreheads. This is the three white color lines that people put on their forehead and a bindi in the center. It is very prevalent here in the South India and North India also. People in sacred places, they put these three lines on the forehead and the bindi in the center. So Baba is talking about these three lines being symbols of victory and the symbol of being careful and clear, while the bindi is representation of the soul. Baba has asked, do you see these three lines on the forehead of yours in the mirror? Okay. Baba continues. Devotees put a symbol of the tilak on their foreheads. You do not need to put it on your forehead. You can constantly recognize your stage through these lines on your forehead. All three lines should be sharp and clear. Only then will you be able to be an image that grants visions, that is, you will be able to make your task successful. So it's very deep here. Baba says you can know your stage by looking at the trident on your forehead, and you should be able to grant visions to people. And that's how you become successful in your task. You are now going on service. You have to start giving a searchlight to those souls from now. Try to imagine a searchlight on the forehead, the one which is mobile, which is used by people in the cave to go inside the cave. Try to imagine that kind of a torch, that a kind of a searchlight which is placed on the forehead. Okay, our position is similar to that. The trident and the bindi in the center is similar to this bindi is similar in the place of that of our soul, right? The seat of the soul. So try to imagine that. Baba does mention about this. This is a searchlight. It it gives out lights. It gives out visions to people. So Baba says you have to start giving a searchlight to those souls from now. Have you already started this? Or are you going to start to do it when you get there? The light from a searchlight reaches into the distance. So you have to give this searchlight from here. You can select the souls. If you start this task here, then when you arrive there, you will be able to see the visible proof. So Baba mentions now clearly that this light spreads to far away distance. So people can see it from far, and this light also can be thrown to a larger distance from one place. So Baba says, now select your souls and display your light from the place where you are. So you walk and move along whilst being a searchlight, or is it only when you sit down that you give a searchlight? Is it a mobile searchlight or a static searchlight? You have to carry out the task now of constantly being a searchlight and creating an atmosphere in all four directions so that as soon as you get there, the souls who are going to come close can easily attain their fortune through the attraction of the atmosphere. I was now talking about creating an atmosphere where people can just come in. They see the light and come in there. This is because you now have to show a thousandfold success in very little time. Previously, it was a different time. There was more time used and less success attained. But you now have to make plans whereby you attain a thousandfold success in very little time. Baba wishes that we attain more success in less time. Before creating the plans, you have to become plain. See one yukti. To attain thousandfold success in less time, we have to create plans. And now, the next layer to create plans, we have to become plain. So Baba says, if you become plain, the plans will take a practical shape very well. Only by your being plain, will the plans be carried out very well. What plans must you have after becoming plain through which you can attain constant success? Baba is telling you this in just a few words so that you never forget. So, what should these plans be? We can all note down this. Firstly, you have to remember that you are all united. That is, all of you are following the directions of one. Okay? You are following the directions of one. Unite. The second plan is through your words, you constantly have to remind yourself and others of the name of one. And the third plan is there should be economy in your activity and in your actions. There should not only be economy with money, but also with your words. There should also be economy in your thoughts and time. So there should be all types of economy in your activities. There should be all these three aspects. That is, following the directions of one, constantly taking the name of one, and having economy. Whilst taking every step and putting your thoughts into words, you must constantly keep all these three things in your consciousness. So, very, very deep words here. Thoughts into words. We think all the time, but how to put it into words? So, Baba says, now once we are thinking and trying to put it into words, we must keep these three things. That is, we are following directions of one, and they are economical. Few words, like Baba says, sach bolo, meetha bolo, or kam bolo. Okay, these three. And the third one is we have to take the name of one. Whenever there is any exchange, remember one slogan at that time: a child and so a master. When you have to present your ideas, present them as a master. But when it is time for the ideas to be finalized, become a child. This is the yukti. Okay. Now, to become successful, Baba has said you become plain buddhi and make plans. What are the steps to make plans? Baba has said. Now, Baba is now saying the becoming of child and master. Okay. So, Baba says, neither be just a master nor just a child. At the time when you have to perform any particular action, at that time you must have the stage. And when you serve other souls, always as well pay attention to serving yourself. Okay, the third point. That is, we have to pay attention to serving ourselves when serving others. Okay? To stabilize yourself in the stage of soul consciousness is to serve the self. That is the service itself. Just being seated in the stage of soul consciousness is serving oneself. Baba says, first of all, check whether you're also serving yourself. If you're not serving yourself, there will not be success in serving others. Therefore, just as you tell others that to remember the Father means to remember the self, and that to remember the self means to remember the Father. In the same way, to serve others means to serve the self. So the equation now becomes okay, equal. That is, to serve others is to serve the self, because we constantly tell others to remember the Father. So as we are doing that, we also tend to ignite that fire of remembrance inside us, thereby making everybody to remember Father, and that is nothing but connecting oneself again, yoga. You must also keep this in your consciousness. When you go to do any service, always think that as well as doing that service, you are also carrying out the cremation ceremony of your old sanskaras. The more you carry out the cremation ceremony of the old sanskars, the more you will accordingly receive respect. Okay. So this is deeper again. So as we are remembering Baba, or as we are talking about Baba, we are instilling new thoughts in our minds. We are putting the old thoughts in the back seat, or they are regressing, and that's how the new thoughts are emerging. So the old thoughts lead to old sanskars. Now we are replacing them by new thoughts and new feelings of being with Baba. Right? That's how our old scars will be cremated. And now Baba says, With cremation of old sanskaras, you will receive respect. Let's see further. All souls will salute you in their minds. All souls will salute you in their minds. One is to salute physically with the hand, and the other is to salute with the mind. Sorry, salute physically with the hand, and the other is to salute with the mind. They constantly sing praise in their minds because just as one type of devotion is external and the other is in the mind, so to salute externally is not a big thing. However, they will salute you in their minds. They will sing praise of the Father, being the one who has made you like this. See, now what does it reflect? Our stage of and our words, now they are reflecting Father. And that's how they will sing the praise of the Father. That is of Shiv Baba. Right? Secondly, when they hear your elevated ideas, you will make them bow down for their determined ideas. So that is like them saluting you, is it not? So when you empower them, when you make them feel good, they bow down to a new level of thinking, a new determined thought. So they are literally bending in their minds. They are bending those old sanskars and adopting a new way of thinking and living. That is nothing but saluting through their minds. So Baba says, you have to make effort so that others salute you in their minds. And you have become nimits to doing that, right? So in a way, others are saluting you through their minds. You must not create devotees who do everything externally, but you must create those who salute you in their minds. Only these devotees will change and become knowledgeful. The more you surrender your intellect, that is, the more you keep it clean and engage it in remembrance of one, the more you will become a mirror. Okay, this is another yukti and a very deep one. The more we surrender our intellect, the more we keep it clean and engage it in the remembrance of one, it will become a mirror. So, when people go in front of a mirror, they see their own form even if they do not wish to see it, right? In the same way, when you constantly keep your intellect surrendered in the remembrance of one, you will become living mirrors. Anyone who then comes in front of you will have a vision of of his own self and will easily experience his own form. So you must become mirrors through which others automatically have a vision of themselves. I'm reading verbatim from here. This is good, is it not? They can tell from a distance that there is a searchlight there. No matter how big a gathering you may be in, even amidst a gathering, they would be able to tell from a distance that you are searchlights. That is, you continue to show the path. You are the searchlights who show the path. You are the searchlights who show the path of knowledge and yoga through that searchlight. Then, when you go from here with this determined thought, you will become that practical form on the basis of having that thought. If you have the thought that you are victorious jewels, you have the form of victory. Your words and actions would also be accordingly. Your actions are filled with victory on the basis of your thoughts. The tilak of victory is already applied to the serviceable souls. Service means to have the tilak of victory. This is a serviceable group that is now going. So that's a group that Baba is talking about, and in general, all of us, those who do not spend even 1 second or one thought without doing service are serviceable. This is such a group, is it not? When you especially go for service, you have to pay special attention to the self. You are not doing ordinary service, but special service. If you do ordinary service, you then have an ordinary consciousness. When you have to carry out a special task, you have special remembrance. So you must not keep an ordinary consciousness, but a powerful consciousness. When you have a constantly powerful consciousness, the atmosphere will be constantly powerful. Because of your having a powerful atmosphere, no soul will be able to leave that atmosphere. Only then will there be success in service. Always give regard to one another's ideas and accept them. Only then will they easily be able to salute you in their minds. Baba gives this yukti, always make the lesson of Haji, Haji firm. The more you say Haji, the more everyone will sing praise of your victory. You are going to reveal your form of being a Shakti or a Pandava, are you not? The horses are going on a tour to make souls sacrifice themselves in the yajna. Baba is calling the souls who are going on service as horses, and they are going to make the other souls sacrifice themselves in this Ashwamedha yajna. You have already surrendered yourselves. You must become completely plain. You must not take any burden with yourselves. There were 5 Pandavas, but all of them followed the directions of one. You say that all of you are one. This is the first group that constantly keeps an example of one. By constantly reminding one another to become an embodiment of remembrance, you will all be united in following the directions of one. All 5 Pandavas had the speciality of following the directions of one, but each one also had his own speciality. What is the speciality of each one? They tell the story of the 4 Musketeers. You have to harmonize with everyone and make every task successful. Each of you should take one special duty. Each of you should relate the responsibility of your special duty. Even whilst in a gathering, everything becomes easy when you give the cooperation of your speciality. What speciality will each Pandava show? In terms of souls, all of you are Pandavas and also Shaktis. Do you know your own speciality? Constantly maintain your zeal and enthusiasm and a stable stage. No matter how much others try to defeat you through many things, when you speak a few powerful words and give them powerful drishti, whilst being an embodiment of experience, and stabilizing yourself in a powerful stage, they will consider themselves to be paper lines. So Baba is inspiring the group, so does to us. It will be just as has been shown in the images of the goddesses when devils came to oppose them in a fearsome form. They became like animals, that is, totally senseless in front of the goddesses. So Baba is giving an example from the scripture how goddesses lost and became senseless when they came in front of powerful goddesses. Baba says, no matter how important or sensible others may be, no matter how many forms they may try to adopt in front of you being an embodiment of experience and your drishti of soul consciousness, they will consider themselves to be senseless. No matter how many types of form they may try to adopt in front of you, people have always portrayed a buffalo under the feet of the goddesses. So this is symbolic. Baba asks why. He says, no matter how sensible and knowledgeful someone considers himself to be, a buffalo is completely senseless. They will come in front of you with one form and they will go away from you in another form. That is transformed. They go transforming themselves. A memorial of the Shaktis has been shown of how devils came to oppose them in a fearsome form, and when the arrows from the Shaktis hit them, their form changed. This is why you must always remember that you have become instruments of the Almighty Authority, that you are the messengers of the Almighty Government. When you discuss anything with anyone, do not allow your mind to be disturbed. Okay? And take home message again. Do not allow your mind to be disturbed when you discuss anything with anyone. Baba says those people are able to read thoughts with the power of science. This is why, even if you hear anything, you must not allow yourself to be disturbed. You must not allow there to be a difference between your face and the stage of your mind. Simply remember this mantra. Just as when you are not able to control something with words or with any other method, you chant a mantra or perform magic. So, when you see that something has come in front of you, use your vision of soul consciousness and the mantra of Manmanabhav, and they will then become a buffalo from a lion. So, isn't this a trick? So, when you have the powerful consciousness of being a soul and you have the mantra of Manmanabhav, you give the strong vision to others. So, these lions become buffaloes, that is senseless, or they become meek. Okay. You become victorious. So, need not to fear. Baba says, you know how to use magic, do you not? All the systems began here. So this is the magic, and Baba says all this began from this school of thought. The use of mantras and powers all emerged from here. You can make your thoughts take a practical form through your vision of soul consciousness. They have occult powers, whereas here you attain success through using the accurate method. There is just a slight difference of words. The occult power is only for a temporary period, but the correct method of remembrance brings eternal success in your thoughts and actions. Those people use occult powers, whereas you attain success in your thoughts and actions through the method of remembrance. So we attain success through the thoughts and actions, through the method of remembrance. Acha, Om Shanti. Today, Baba has given us the title of Searchlight, how and given a lot of yuktis as to how to do service, what state of mind we should be, what we should be thinking, what is the mantra, how situations or people as fearsome as the devils could come, and how we can still do service, and what are the plans that needs to be carried out, how to remain a plain buddhi, right? So let's turn on these points, and in a minute's time we shall discuss. Om Shanti. We can unmute ourselves and start sharing our points.
Om Shanti. Good morning,
Om
everyone.
Shanti.
Uh, I like the sentence where my Baba says that if you become plain, your plans will take practical shape, and for your plans to take a practical shape, you need to be united in to one in all directions, and you need to constantly take the name of one, and you need to be economy in your words, thoughts, deeds, and not only in economy, money. Om Shanti.
Accurate, sister. Correct.
I also like the point where my Baba has asked us to check yourself whether you are first serving yourself. Otherwise, there will not be any success in serving others. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, with respect to this service and self, often we have uh, heard that service before self in military or whichever professional services. But definitely here Baba says self before service, and with a very deep meaning to it. That once we empower the self, when we be seated in the our own original eternal form, soul consciousness form, then that stage determines the success. That is the success in service. And another aspect is that three lines on the forehead should be very sharp and clearly visible. That is a trident, which represents a victory. Victory. That is victory of success in thoughts, words, and deeds. This also I really it touched. It's a remarkable exercise which Baba has given us. Before going to the service, I should see there's a lot of preparation Baba has highlighted on. Before even proceeding for the service, the preparation starts from that is T minus so much of time before. That is first I have to visualize the experience the trident on my forehead. That is my thoughts, words, and deeds are all aligned to this victory. And second is a dot, that is a bindi, which is my soul consciousness form. And third line is that's I have got a clear connection with Baba, and I am very careful. being careful, watchful of my thoughts, words, and deeds, careful and clear. So, and then I'll be able to, my face will become, the forehead will become a mirror that will grant visions to others to see their own eternal form. And this will bring thousandfold success. Uh, Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti, brother. So
Shanti.
I like this point that Papa said to have a balance of child and master. So when we have to present something or give directions, or when we have to do any sort of a work, then becoming a master. And then when everything is finalized and the decision is taking place in becoming a child. So this so much of practice is required to bring this into practice. Sometimes we don't even realize where which power to be used. Sometimes we may have to become a child, instead we try to become a master. So this can spoil the situation, spoil the service, can result many other consequences. Yeah. Om Shanti.
Shanti. So we can become child and present the ideas, but when the finalization is taking place, then we should let the master do it.
Right.
Right.
Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti, sister.
Light, might, searchlight. Baba has given us so many points. Sometimes he tells you, there's such a difference between being a searchlight and a lighthouse. And both the objective, the process, and the result are all different. But today in searchlight, so many he has given us, even if we adopt one, whether it's the 3 lines which he's speaking about, it's actually the meeting of the 3 energies, or whether to have all those 3 ekes, ekmat, economy, in order to be plain, whether to be a child or to be a master, any one of this, or whether you're going to make. But what I liked, which I always feel, is that powerful atmosphere, is that powerful image which Baba has given at the end as Shiv Shakti. I really like that particular vision which Baba is given there, where he's saying, I am sitting on a lion and I move forward. And even though I am sitting on a lion, I see lions in front of me. So when 2 lions meet, what happens? So here Baba is saying, if you have created a powerful stage through my powerful vision. So I always think about these, the third Swarup, Master Bujadari Durgao, Asura Samhariniyu, Papa Vinashiniyu, Jaga Udaraku. I always used to get those kind of feelings of that Shiv Shakti. So when through my drishti, through my words, that's one searchlight which I like. And the person who's in front of me, either becomes a paper lion, or I can go with him, I can make him totally senseless. The way what Baba senseless means, I become so knowledgeful, I become so sensible, like a buffalo, which is always a epitome of called as senselessness. I don't know why. Then they become like that. So that memorial, that fearsome form, that Shiv Shakti is what I would like to carry as a searchlight today. I love that Shiv Shakti form.
Right, sister. Thank you. Correct.
Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti,
Today,
sister.
Baba asked us to finish the cremation ceremony of the world sanskar. If we did, means all souls will salute us in their minds. One is to salute physically with the hand, and the other is to salute with the mind. This is the point.
Very nice, sister.
Brother, what is the meaning of this occult power? What does it mean? Occult power.
Occult power is the temporary kind of magic that people play on us to make you feel happy, to make you show that yes, they've attained something. So the normal magic that people play around in front in public, that shows that they have powers, right? We are not saying the mechanism behind it as to how are they able to do it, but we suddenly show a face of surprise and kind of happiness. Oh yeah, this is possible. Oh, powerful. That is occult, which is not seen readily. So that is occult power.
Thank you.
Right.
I think yesterday somebody explained this. It was
Again,
well done. It was something related to, witchcraft, astrology. The word occult, if you see, it means knowledge of the hidden, knowledge of the something beyond normal. They use this through, so we hear all these stories through skull, through all that, they acquire that power. But that is only temporary power, and that has got its own limitations. Baba always says, you have got your magical power is spiritual power. Yesterday, somebody had very nicely explained about this occult power.
it is very much visible through their stage, right? If you see these magicians, like as Sister mentioned, the stage is so disturbed. I mean, rather not taking their example, we can see how this peaceful, calm energy of remembrance can bring out magic. This has happened several times. We might have heard this in other Murlis or through elder sisters that people have gone with lots of questions in front of Brahma Baba, through in front of Dadis, and they have come out plain. They have come out transformed, finding solutions. It has happened to me as well. Somehow it is a magic again, but now we know the rationale here, right? This is science and spirituality both working. Through the power of remembrance with Father, we are able to grant that vision to others. So, and that's how the other person gets attracted to that atmosphere and feels transformed and goes, right? So this is a long lasting procedure and one which can be carried out by us as well. It's not hidden. Right, sister.
Yeah, thank
Right, sister.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
I need a meaning. Musketeers. Musketeers. I don't know the meaning.
It is a story that was once told to children, sister. He was actually it is a story of a foot soldier who was armed with a musket. And I have not myself heard of the whole story, but this is again Yadgar anecdote.
Oh, okay.
Baba in this context mentions that we have to have our speciality known when we are going as musketeers, like the small soldiers. So with our speciality, we should be able to carry out the responsibility. So in that context, Baba has used the story of four musketeers.
Okay.
So, Ashok Bhai, you were saying something, I guess, in between.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, actually, I wanted to add on that occult power.
Please.
So I have seen this evil souls entering on people. In the sense, there are people who have this occult power who use those power to chase away these evil spirit from such people. So they develop that power with some studies, I guess. So here, Baba says that is all temporary. Yeah, exactly. Because what we have seen is sometimes this evil soul will enter and then when they try to chase away, it goes, and then over a period of time, it again comes back. So here, I think somewhere Baba is mentioned that this is all karmic accounts. So if evil spirit is or evil soul is entering, then we have karmic account with that soul. So the only way to settle is to have powerful remembrance by staying in remembrance of Baba.
So in no way we can compare these people with the Shaktis and Pandavas, because here we have a mission. Here we have an ambition of creating a Satyug, right? And that too through knowledge. I mean, that speaks for itself, brother, in a way that there's no way we should ever be thinking about them or wondering more about it, because we have a very nicely laid out procedure as to how to carry out service that can transform the world. Okay? And what best if people do respect us for this service, and what else does people would want if they both their minds, if we can transform them, right? People do get transformed there, but the transformation here is long lasting.
Vinod Bhai, I feel Baba mentions this because in the last stage, Baba says, ऐसे भी, as this brother rightly quoted, ऐसे भी समय आएगा जब evil spirit आपके अंदर आएगा. And I remember in one of Baba's meetings, I remember there used to be sudden somebody, shouting and all that and all. Then Baba just, he never even used to see that. He used to ignore and go forward. So I used to ask some of the seniors, Surya Bhai and all, about this. He said, this is just a thing which is happening even in front of God. Even in front of God, such thing happens. So imagine when that time will come, such powers will be there. But you should take on another power, a Shiv Shakti power, as Baba mentioned in the last paragraph over there, that power will overtake all the other occult powers. So that means what a volcanic stage
Stage.
after. That was one thing. And secondly, just to add to that sister, what she said, because being we study all these, the story is actually Three Musketeers. She should go through the thing which is given. It's a beautiful story of how the person, those three soldiers got dragon. But how did later this become Four Musketeers? That all sequel you should read. It's a long story. I cannot share it over here. That's a lovely story. And today Baba didn't mention Three Musketeers, but he mentioned four. I just thought I should share. Om Shanti.
Ancient video.
Shanti sister.
I was wondering today what vocabulary Baba is using. Wonderful teacher, no? Searchlight. Searchlight is the word where we can visualize easily now, isn't it? And plane, plan. I have noted down the word economy, and I am working on this economy on words. Really, I speak too much. Though I have displayed the slogan also, "Kam bolo, meetha bolo, chire bolo." But really, I'm trying to work today. Again, Baba reminded me that be careful. Economy of words is very essential. I have taken this point. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Sister Shanti. It's a mutual benefit to the listener and to the speaker both.
So, what do we mean by economy in our activities, actions?
I understand this is how I can say fidgety you become, how rapidly you pace up between your activities. Say you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to listen, you have multiple ideas, but you can still do all of them, all these plans with agility and grace. Instead of running around, jumping around, hitting an object in the place around, and then making others also feel what is this person doing. That is economy in activity, what I believe. You can
Okay,
do
thank
all of these one by one, in a slow mannered, well planned manner, agile and graceful manner. So I guess
Yes.
that's just the economy of activities.
Thank you so much.
Kam kharch bala nashi.
Yes. Okay. Shall we close up for meditation?
Yes, please.
So let us sit back, relaxed. Let us see our foreheads. What is reflecting from it? What is coming out of it? See a searchlight. The light is emanating from the bindi, the position of the soul, the briquette, and it is entering in the world. It's removing the darkness and creating a sense of friendliness, knowledge, and clarity. People find something is interesting in the atmosphere and start to meet you. While you are seated in a powerful stage in the remembrance of Baba, people get more attracted and start talking. While you still remain in the same seat of Manmana Bhav, people find themselves in you. You are a mirror reflecting their thoughts and ideas, becoming compassionate but still remembering to serve yourself by remaining soul conscious. You give the introduction of Baba to them and see and feel the energy of transformation in them and the cremation of your old sanskars as well as the power of remembrance of Father is helping both of you to transform. There might be situations when you get tough questions, but do not bother. Again, remember, Father, see your forehead and see the solution, see the situation dissolving. And as you do this, see the situations improving, changing of sanskars in other person, and you yourself transforming to become a Shakti, a victorious jewel. Om Shanti. Please carry out this service frequently and become an embodiment of experience and success. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Vinod Bhai. Om Shanti Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a good day.
Thank you. Om Shanti.